Live in the secret room. And today I am wearing my serial killer shirt, which I actually really do like. So as you can see, Michael Myers, he's a fan of Fruit Loops. Gotta like that. Gotta respect that. And it's really cool to be here, being able to do this right now. And hopefully some of the people that I saw on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter will drop in and we'll have a lot to talk about. Now, if you've, hey, Levins, welcome. Hey, Michael, I must not have seen you come in. So if you're new or to the channel, you may not have seen this room yet, but this is where I keep all my TV stuff, a lot of my collectibles, a lot of my gaming stuff, VHS, Laserdisc, all that type of stuff, all here within this one glorious room. And I really enjoy this. Most people, when they watch my videos, they either see me in my computer room where I do a lot of my studying at, or they'll see me down in the movie library. Once in a while, you see me in my living room or something like that. But this is a rare one. Hey, Mug, welcome. This is what we call the secret room, and that means this is a kind of a boundary-free room. We can talk about like movies, we can talk about TV, gaming, Doctor Who, anything that you want to talk about. Hey there, Scholar. So if there's stuff that you want to announce, I did notice that somebody messaged, put a comment on my last video to say that it was Dave G who said that Vinegar Syndrome has Grandmother's House back in stock with the slipcover. I thought that one was sold out. I guess there's more back in stock. I was unaware, but for anybody that was looking for the Grandmother's House with the slip, I'm not sure if it's still available, because I just got to see this here. And this was like posted last night. If I got to see that, if it's still available, you can actually pick that up and grab it. I'm not sure if Juan is on here right now, but he just got a region-free DVD player, Blu-ray player, which means he's welcome to the world of the glorious region-free collecting. I always say, if you're collecting and you're serious about like collecting physical media, region-free is the way that you go. That is the first thing that I always suggest. Whenever I'm asked, if somebody says, "Is there one thing that that I should invest into?" They'll ask me like, should I get Arrow? Should I buy Scream Factory? Should I buy company that'll come after as you decide your what you want to buy, with your tastes and stuff like that. But for the widest breadth of collecting, of physical media collecting, I do recommend that you pick yourself up a region-free player. If you have not been able to do that yet, just keep an eye out. There's some websites that have them. You see them online. You can get some for some pretty good prices, and every once in a while, if you live in North America, especially in Canada, you actually see them in some of the shops and even some of the secondhand shops and stuff. You'll come across a cool little region-free player for a really decent price. Hey, Movie Madness. Nice. I hope you really like it. I love my favorite. I like them all, but my favorite is probably Malatesta's Carnival Blood. It's definitely the most surrealistic film in Volume 1, and it gives me that kind of like feel, like the feel you get from like kind of a Phantasm-esque or Carnival of Souls, that type of thing, but on a much lower budget scale, right? On a regional horror scale. But Malatesta's Carnival Blood really look towards that one. Livens, trust me, once you go region free, it's impossible to go back. I have had about like 5 region free players. I got to the point where I had 3 in my house at the same time, and I had 2 and I bought a third one for like a birthday gift. My cousin, actually, I mentioned that to Roger a lot. Basically, he's like a bro to me, so we grew up kind of like brothers, and that's what I got him one year. I got him like an Arrow video, and I got him like a region free player so he can play it on. Hey, top of the morning. Oh, 200. Wow, that's a few then. So I never had a chance to look on it before I came on, but I did notice a comment there. So I'm going to open the comment section here on here, just in case I missed one of your comments through there. And where we're in this room, if there's anything you want to look at, you want to talk about, this is, this is the time. I don't come into this room a lot. And if you're, especially if there's anything like TV related, for instance, or anything. Ah, there we go. I hate when my voice comes up here. It's like stereo, right? Don't like listening to my own voice. I often, if I have to watch back my video, what I what I normally do, I'm not gonna lie to you, is I kind of mute the volume and I just look at the comments on the screen, unless like I'm watching with somebody else, like my better half or something, and she's critiquing it for me, which doesn't happen a lot, but it happens every once in a while. So is anybody that's watching this video right now that's that hasn't seen this room before, that hasn't seen me in here, like just checking on something. You haven't? Oh, Mug. Well, basically, this here is I'm gonna pick up my iPad, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a kind of like a little mini tour, and so you guys can see exactly what this is. Hey, welcome, George, man, and can get an idea of exactly what's here. I won't go like deeply through it, but I'll just go through kind of like just kind of give you guys an idea of the kind of the level that my obsession has gotten to. All right, so you're gonna luckily be away from this face for a while. So we'll start over here on the other side. So right at the top, you're going to see that there's a lot of like collection box sets there. Everything from the Lone Ranger, which was that Lone Ranger set is actually the collection that started me collecting movies again, by the way. So as I go through this, if you see anything that stands out or anything that you want to talk about more, definitely feel free to do so. See some like a bunch of westerns there that I got. Anything from Are You Being Served to Outer Limits to The Kids in the Hall, Babylon 5, which was a favorite show of mine, Hercules. It's the complete series of Mission Impossible. As you can see, there's more stuff over here. I even got the Clue VCR mystery game. Oh, I love the Slaughters shows, man. I'm a huge fan. You can see that and you can see like a bunch of. I need to get new shelving, as you can see, because I got a lot of VHS that are just all over the place here. It's my signed poster from. That's my signed artwork from Ty Templeton, who worked on Batman the Animated Series comic book. I have like some masks here. I got the Scream mask. That Scream mask is actually the best one that I've ever had, and it legitimately came from a Canadian Scream Blu-ray set. It had like all the Scream movies out 1 to 4, plus it had a bonus Blu-ray with like 2 Scream feature-length documentaries on there. That's my Orphan Killer mask. If you haven't seen that, I used to wear that in some videos. That's some of my Lucha Libre. That's the only 2 Lucha Libre masks that I have now. Of course, because we're huge fans of Red Green, we've got the Possum Populi. It's like a bunch of comics there. Then there's my Carry-On sets. Yes, I do like a lot of geeky shows like Power Rangers and Robotech and Transformers, Beast Wars. I gotta have Twin Peaks. And I got the, I'm really proud in the back there, my cousin got me those, I think a couple, 2 or 3 of those, kind of those CD comic collections. So that, I had a yard sale last week, but it wasn't for my stuff. My better half actually was selling some clothing stuff, some extra clothing. She collects clothes the same way that I do films, in large quantities. Well, really, the Saint set? Oh, I love those sets. I got both. I need to return the Saint, is the one I need. And if I ever get back to London, I'll probably grab it. As you can see, I'm a huge Superman fan. This Shirley Temple set that I picked up, I thought it was movies, but it turned out to be this like Shirley Temple TV series that she had back in the day. I'm just going through. I'm kind of quick, but hopefully enough to let you guys see some stuff. You can see some of my 8 millimeters and my games and that. You can see like a Peep Show, which is a favorite show of mine. The In-Betweeners, which I really like. Tales from the Crypt, which Stephanie would be proud for me having, but she would not be proud of the fact that I don't have a complete collection yet. Of course, my Willy Wonka, and there's a bunch of stuff there. And there we go. Let's see. So that's just a quick overview of this room. I try to keep my TV stuff and my films separately. In the last house that I lived in here in Nova Scotia, it was like one big room, and it was a bigger room actually than the one that I have right now, the current movie library. But I was able to get things pretty well done. But hey Sasha, one of the problems that I had with it was this here area, the top area, was unfinished. Do I like the remake? I haven't seen a lot of it. I mean, what I saw of it was okay. I mean, it was the pilot episode of Magnum PI was pretty pedestrian for even like just it wasn't even like to the level of the original Magnum PI, like on its worst day. Now that being said, the show's still going on. The show probably got better. I've only seen the pilot, and I didn't really. I liked the new Higgins. I thought she was cool, but and the guy seemed like he could do the role. But the thing is, Magnum PI is a very specific type of show. Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck has this charisma, much like Harrison Ford in Star Wars has that certain charisma that's really hard to replicate. So you go in fighting a losing battle. Hey Jesse. But I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it to really tell you. I've only seen the pilot episode. I wasn't impressed with the pilot episode, but that being said, that's really not enough to judge a series on. I usually like to watch anywhere between 4 to 6 episodes of a show before I kind of give a judgment on that series. And if it's a show like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., for instance, which was a Marvel series, I think that's going into its last season now. But that show needed almost 20 episodes before it really caught on to kind of like what it became later. It became a much better show than the sum of the parts that it started with. But yeah, hopefully that answers it. Nobody can convince you. I've got to kill an ant because I'm evil, and I'm sick of ants being around here. Convinced a digital collection can never replace a. Yes, there was a Carry On TV series. Actually, in these collections here, I wonder if this is one of them. No, this isn't the one. On some of the collections, actually, some of the episodes will some of the movies will actually have an episode of the Carry On TV series included as a bonus feature with the movie itself. You can buy the TV series on its own as well. I'm trying to see if I can find one here that actually mentions it, because I got a lot of these Carry On sets, and often the thing is that I bought these at Zellers, which is a store here. It's kind of like Target, but it's no more, which is also like Target here in Canada. Oh, dude, definitely grab that. That's going to be a cool set. I got that one here. Hey, Isaac, we are in the other room. We're in the secret room today, so you can talk about anything you want, and you can ask anything that you want. Maybe you just need to find the right way that you want to do it. August Finger Sermon announcements this week. If they are, I'll do a video on them. I haven't seen anything show up yet. I'm very proud of the June announcements. It was a very different month for Vinegar Syndrome, very eclectic, and that I'm super proud of. I'm actually in a kind of a conundrum now, because I am Mr. Vincent. That's kind of my thing. That's my handle, but Zack Superman, which one? We'll talk about him in a second. I will love Carry On Blu-ray set. But we did a. What was I saying? I totally lost my train of thought. I do apologize. It's one of those days. My better half ordered some clothing. Oh, thanks. So the Art House month. I think the Art House month is really cool. Because I think once people actually get those, they'll actually enjoy them more than they actually think that they will. But my conundrum right now is I've done the Vinegar Syndrome sale so many times, and I got so much stuff in the background. I got so much Vinegar Syndrome stuff that the November sale, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go all in. I haven't done a Criterion sale in ages, and I wasn't able to do this one. So I kind of got to get caught up on my Criterion game. I noticed while making some of my videos on Criterion and BFI and stuff like that, that I am significantly lacking. Like I do have the Bergman set, and I got Zadichi set. So let's be honest, I'm not lacking in Criterion, but I'm lacking in single Criterion releases that I would like to get up on. So maybe November I might go for Criterion Christmas. I may do that. Got a few months before I got to decide that though. So George, 6 months away. See, but that's the thing. Either way, I got to save up for it. But for me, Jesse, the way that I do this, the way that I did the Criterion sale, is around 4 months before the sale started. Hey, let's talk movies. For the Vinegar Syndrome sale, around 4 months before it started, I went on to the Vinegar Syndrome website, and I started researching. I started making lists and sub-lists and edits and doing the pricing up in my head what the pricing would be once and the different options. Oh, welcome, dude. Congratulations. Feel free if you want to link the video. Can you still link videos down below? In the comment section down below afterwards, kind of let people know where to go. But definitely check that out, guys. But yeah, I do like 3 to 4 months of research for a sale. I know this seems kind of excessive, but there's so many sales that are out there. Like the latest one I did a video on last night was the 101, 101 film sale, which, by the way, Juan can now get because he's gone region free. So here in the background are a lot of my TV shows. This is kind of like a superhero level. Like I got more superhero stuff. I get asked a lot what my favorite one is, and out of the new shows, and I'm gonna buck against the crowd here, and I'm gonna show you my favorite TV series out of all the new superhero series that were on in the last few years. Well, Lois and Clark was on the last few years, but I do love Lois and Clark. Terry Hatcher, and Lois and Clark gets Superman right in a way that a lot of other shows get Superman wrong, and a lot of movies do too. They tend to think, or they tend to go with the fact that Superman is who he is, and Clark is just like glasses and a disguise. Ooh, let me think about that one, Isaac. I'll get back to you. But if you read the comics and if you've gone through them, they've gone back and forth on that. But my stance is that in Superman, when he puts on the costume and he goes and he flies around and he's like Superman. I love Smallville. Basically, that's he's getting to use his powers. He's getting to do like the stuff that he can do. But he's Clark. Clark is who he is. He was raised in Smallville with good solid parents. He didn't mind control them, Frank Miller. Just saying, he didn't mind control them to get his parents. And he basically, but they often get it wrong. But Lois and Clark in Smallville gets it right, as in that Clark Kent is who he is, and Superman is kind of like his character. But my favorite one, and I've seen the Hollow Man set there, but unfortunately I'm saving it for the next sale, which is I'm saving it for October. I've got some September releases coming. When Arrow announced those, I had to go get those. But I got a I had to grab Prey, and I had to grab The Hills Have Eyes 2. Those are both ones. But as this takes me a long time to get around to. But this is my favorite superhero show out of all the superhero shows that were on TV in the last few years. This this rocked. This was a very, very different kind of show. Did I like Smallville? I loved Smallville. I adored the series Smallville. It's still one of my favorite shows. But right now, when I say this, Smallville is not in contention because Smallville was a different era. Smallville was like done at a different time. Actually, what's kind of neat before I go into Gotham, because I do want to talk Gotham, because not enough people actually talk about that. It is. It's kind of Gotham's is the main character in Gotham. But there are supervillains, there's superheroes. It is kind of like the genesis of like Gotham becoming Gotham. Flash. I got that here too. I got the CW Flash here too. I just don't remember where I got it put. Okay, so with Superman, and Lois and Clark. So the original Super series was this one here, which is Superboy. And this ran for 4 seasons. The first season had John James Newton, and seasons 2, 3, and 4 had Gerard Christopher. It became much more comic bookish and more sci-fi oriented when Gerard Christopher took it over. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that when Lois and Clark when they were casting for Lois and Clark, before Dean Cain was cast, there was another guy that almost got cast in the role of Clark Kent. And that guy was this actor by the name of Gerard Christopher, who had just come off of playing him on Superboy. Of course, he had grown up, kind of grown with the role, and he was a huge fan of the show, of the character. Unfortunately, they found out that he was on Superboy, and they wanted to pretty much disassociate themselves with the earlier Superboy series, which was done by the Salkinds, who did the films, because this was going to be their new thing. Actually, Lois and Clark is the reason that Superboy got canceled after 4 seasons. DC wanted to go heavy and strong into this new higher budgeted Lois and Clark series, and they made sure that Superboy got canceled because of it. Then the guy that played Superboy, Gerard Christopher, was thought to be the perfect choice to play Clark. Unfortunately, they found out, or fortunately for Dean Cain, they found out that he was on the series Superboy, so they hired the other choice, Dean Cain, to be in the show. Now, this show was way back in 93, 94 when this one came around. When the show first aired, it ran for 4 seasons, and it ended on kind of a cliffhanger. A 5th season was planned that never happened. I was a huge fan of this. I'm going to be... actually, I know he was in the running for a few things, actually, Bronson was. I'll talk to you later. Isaac, I will get the Giallo list for you yet. Some Giallo ideas. Maybe I'll do it in my next video. Get some Giallo ideas. We'll get some Giallo ideas for Isaac. We'll do that for sure. Offhand though, Isaac, you don't have Tenebrae. I recommend that. And Deep Red. Those are 2 for sure. Also, the Red Queen kills sometimes. And her vice is a locked room, and I only have the key. Yes, actually, Dean Cain may... Oh, did I miss something here? But Dean Cain was on the series Smallville. He played a villain on the series Smallville. He was a bad guy. Well, actually, both Superman. So Dean Cain and Christopher Reeve both showed up in the Smallville series. Hawk and Stranger Things. I haven't finished this season of Stranger Things yet, so we're not going to talk about Stranger Things today. Gotham is really good, Sasha. It's really good, but it's really different. Now, do not go into this expecting to see Batman. You're not. It's called Gotham, and people thought Gotham was just going to be Jim Gordon, but no. This is by far and large for me, and I'm gonna say this. People aren't gonna like this. One of the best if not the best, probably the best representation of Bruce Wayne live action that I've ever seen. He goes from a kid to to a young adult throughout the series, and he is utterly fantastic in the role. They really casted this role well, and he grew to be an amazing Bruce Wayne. You can see him, like you can see every like nuance that okay, this, I can see this person growing up being Batman, and it comes through here. It comes through amazingly. Thanks, Mug. I'm glad you agree, Mug. What's really great about this is like it did start off with some kind of weaker style shows, episodes, but kind of like put in between. It was kind of feeling its way out, and a lot of people were expecting this to be like a regular Batman series. Yeah, it's the music that's causing the wear off, unfortunately. That's the John J. York series used to come on back in the day, early days of Fox. But that's one I really want. Chuck Connors is that one as well, actually. But this was incredible. This right here, we got the Penguin, who is amazing. He does Cobblepot, the guy that will become the Riddler, Edward Nigma. Just some really great stuff. And season two, kind of, you do get to see him become sort of. I mean, like in the last episode, which I actually don't think was necessary. I didn't really want to see him become Batman, but they kind of put it in the last episode. Like him actually wearing the Batman outfit, because they do it like they do a time lapse for the last episode. And this is probably the season where it really all falls together. It gets good like in the there's some weaker episodes in the first season, but it gets really good as it goes along. This had 5 seasons, and it's amazing. Just the way that it's done and the way these characters are. A crush on the Penguin. So I can see that. Like he's a cool character. He's a cool dude, and the actor I've seen in a few different things. I'm always surprised when I see him show up in stuff. I think it's Robin Lord Taylor, I think is his name. This season 2 is a particularly good season. This is kind of you really the here I'm gonna go like again. It's gonna peeve some people off. The best live action Joker that, but he can't be called the Joker because of reasons. Is in this. The best Joker ever is in this. It never really says like exactly where it's set, and Gotham is done so that you see it, like when you look at the people there and you see the way they're dressed and stuff like that, you kind of think it's maybe they're like it's done in the 50s or 60s, kind of noirish. But then there's other aspects of it that makes it seem like it's more modern day. It really never commits to like a certain time frame, and I think that's a brilliant idea on the creators of this show. The guy that did this show worked on a show called The Mentalist before this, which actually was a pretty damn good series too, actually, with a really cool like mysterious villain kind of going like weaving his way throughout it. But this was his show that he did after The Mentalist. People went into this expecting to see like Batman the TV show or like just Jim Gordon, but it is called Gotham. I don't know. I only got I'll be honest with you. I've got the first season on DVD, and I got the second season on Blu-ray, and I got to get them all over. Except I got to get season 1 over again on Blu-ray, and then I'll get seasons 3, 4, and 5. Yes, that's the thing. That's what I hated about the Nolan films, and Nolan's a fantastic director. You guys know I love Nolan, but I think actually he has a pretty good role. Like as you go through the series, like, and this is such a great like kind of dynamic and chemistry between Bullock and Jim. He's one of those characters that he's so good when he's on the screen, he always leaves you wanting more. But I think he had enough that they didn't have to push his character too much in the forefront. But when the chips were down, like he was always there. Bullock, like he was fantastic. But yeah, Gotham. It is called Gotham for a reason. It is about Gotham. Over anything else, over Jim Gordon, over Bruce Wayne, over Jeremiah Velasquez. If you don't know who that is, when you watch the show, trust me, you will never forget the name Jeremiah Velasquez, and it is brilliant. the what's super cool about this is there's one character, and I won't say who it is for anybody that's never seen the show, but there's one character in this uh, that's very bland and almost like a super boring uh, character in the beginning, and you think like, oh my god, this character, I can't wait. You know, is something going to happen to this character? This is kind of an important character in the mythos because this character has. I'm trying to like tiptoe around it. So this character gets to a point where it's not Alfred. I can't say what it is. Alfred's amazing in this. Like Sean Pertwee, John Pertwee, Doctor Who, Sean Pertwee's son, John Pertwee's son, Sean Pertwee, who plays a really kind of badass Alfred. I'm Batman. He's Batman, and he's so cool. He's a good Batman. He uh, he does like this really cool Alfred character. Who's really cool right from the beginning. But there's one character it's a female character, and she seems really kind of milquetoast, really boring, really plain. So much so that you kind of like get annoyed when she comes on the screen a bit. Then I think it's halfway within the first season, something happens. Something epic happens to this character. Something life changing. And it completely changes the way you see the character, and it changes every aspect of the character going forward. It is pretty. It's within a 2-part episode. This character pretty much goes in as this kind of this milquetoast, bland character, and you see this character as very much as the victim of this episode. And this is one of the main casts. And by the end, this character has changed. This character has changed dramatically, and will change dramatically and drastically throughout the rest of Gotham. In a way, they're yes, in a way, yeah, but in a very unique way. In a way that it makes the ride worth it, and it makes all the rest of it kind of like, oh man, I didn't see that. I kind of didn't see that coming. Do I have a favorite DVD set in this room? That's really hard to say. I'm a huge Robotech fan, so you're gonna if Jesse, if you haven't seen Gotham, definitely check it out. So I guess my Robotech series is one of my favorites, but then I like the Saint. Too, I grew up on like when I grew up when I was watched Smallville. Obviously as a kid, this was this was the big superhero show that we all watched. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. So it's really hard to say. It's really comes along in different spurts. I'm a huge fan of Kolchak the Night Stalker. You're talking about the original series, not the Stewart. What's his name again? One, right? How Larry Hagman became. Well, you're talking about Dallas, right? So, a quick thing. Basically, if you've never watched back in the day when I was growing up, soap operas became like a huge deal. It wasn't like just like people like sometimes you get like only girls watch soap operas, or like not many people watch them. No, everybody watched soap operas back when I was younger. They would do like summer time for like we're teenagers. They'd have like specific teen oriented storylines. No, Dallas was very different. Dallas was the first really big nighttime show to become there, become like really popular. Yeah, I do. Nicholas Hammond from The Sound of Music actually was the star of that show. But the first season of Dallas was like just 6 episodes. It was almost like a mini series. Every episode was self-contained. You had like characters that went through, but mostly every episode was self-contained. It wasn't an ongoing kind of. It wasn't really like didn't really have like a story. As in like it was only like the second to third season on when basically Dallas would become a series that would become a serial, like a soap opera. It was much more self-contained episodes in the beginning. Now, Larry Hagman played the character of JR, who was this despicable, like evil, like the best villain you can imagine for one of these type of shows. He just carried it off with perfection. Now they did an episode where JR gets shot. Nobody saw it coming. It was a huge deal. And remember, this is pre-internet, pre like spoilers and stuff like that, and nobody knew who shot JR. It became an amazing thing about who shot JR. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Normally, after the next season, by September, or October, the show comes back on. However, what happened? There was negotiations with Larry Hagman. He actually thought about leaving the show if he didn't get either more money or more power or both, pulling a JR type move. And during the negotiations, what happened is there was a writer strike, a huge, long writer strike. So all of a sudden you had everybody kind of like getting hyped and excited about this Who Shot JR thing. But now we've got a writer strike going on. So the show that should be off like here, maybe 3 to 4 months maximum, suddenly is off the air for 18 months. A fever pitch, it starts to grow. There starts to become a groundswell of interest in the whole thing. And Ken Kirchhoff, Cliff, and they even wrote a book. People made bets in Vegas about who they thought shot JR. And we had to wait 18 months to see JR come back in the hospital, and another 3 to 4 episodes before they would show exactly who shot JR after all. And it was pretty cool. It was a cool time. So it really changed the way that things went. Changed the way negotiations were done. They really started to the other shows. Let's go. Thanks. I'm sorry I didn't talk too much movies this time. Coming next time, let's talk movies, and I'll be back in the movie library, and I promise we'll talk some extra movies for you. But it changed a lot. It changed a lot when it came to shows. Basically, Dynasty came out. They needed their female version of JR. Other series wanted, whether they were soap, like nighttime soaps or not, were looking for a JR-esque character to be on the show to play. And since it's been so long since JR's been shot, I think I can actually spill the beans right now. And if hopefully you've seen it by now, but it was Sue Ellen's sister, Christian, that shot JR. And in the next season, well, she'd end up dead in a pool, and JR would get away with it. It was a hugely watched moment on TV. One of the most watched moments on television that I can remember, Jesse, though, was the ending of MASH. That's true, Ghostbuster. I mean, I hate that fact. I hate reality television. I'm not a huge fan. And here's the thing that people don't get is that reality television isn't real. It's it's scripted too. But we lost like decent like actors and scripted programs for non-actors or very lower budget actors for kind of lightly scripted reality TV scripts. I think I never thought it would last this long. I gotta say, no. I sat down to try and watch one like Ducks Dynasty episode. I couldn't get through it. But that's just me, right? I don't like any of that stuff. Big Brother was the only one I could stand. Like at any time. And I think I watched a little bit of Survivor, like when it first came on. At the beginning, the cusp of it. But if I had to watch a reality show, I'll watch Pimp Your Ride from back in the day. At least I get a little bit of like fun out of the exhibit, like going to there. I just want to know, before I show you like everything on your car, we're gonna pop open the trunk, and I want you to look there, and there's a PlayStation in the back of your car, so you can basically go anywhere and play some PlayStation. Oh man, I wanted my ride pimped, and I don't even drive. Did I watch Mountain Monsters? I don't watch any of that stuff, man. And I'll be honest with you, like I can pretend. It's like, yeah, I'd give it a chance. I wouldn't really. Like I don't like Antiques Roadshow, and I guess it's a reality show. Remember that? What's the one where there are like you know, where they go and there's like the auction one, where they go to these like these auction places. I watched like some of those, like the like there's a Canadian one and a Texas one, and was if it wasn't if MASH wasn't the first dramedy, it's the first one. Storage Wars. Thanks a lot, Jesse. I used to watch that a lot. I never really considered it a reality show, but I guess you're right. That's a reality show, so I do watch one. And but I like Bigfoot movies. But I just got asked something there, didn't I? MASH. MASH, yeah, was the first real like serious dramedy. Like there was a lot of dramedy shows around that time. Some were more successful than others. Obviously, After MASH was one of the least successful ones. But I did grow up on MASH. I remember watching the last episode. Like everybody else, it gets to the end of the show, and BJ just can't say goodbye. He can't do it. Throughout the whole episode, like Hawkeye is trying to say goodbye to BJ. He's trying to like, I may not see you again. We do have to say goodbye. We don't know if we're going to see each other again. We don't know what's going to happen. And in the end, like Hawkeye is going up in the helicopter, and he's like, and he gets up there really high, and like BJ goes off on his motorbike just the way that he came in the show, and Hawkeye looks down, and written in rocks on the ground is goodbye. And Goodbye Farewell Amen, which was the name of the episode, was one of the, if not the best series finales that I've ever seen. It definitely it left an impression with me. Like it left a serious impression with me. It as a fan, as a writer, and at the time also as a wannabe actor, that and I bawled my eyes out, and everybody around me were bawling their eyes out too. So even my pops, who was pretty tough guy. I As good as Monk's season finale was, I'm gonna say I don't think it's gonna be up there with Mash. Mash was a pretty was one of those, but to each his own. Uh, Mash just was epic. It hit people, like in a serious way. And think of how many shows that we've seen that have like had their good and bad seasons, and got kind of China Beach. You know what? I don't remember the season finale for China Beach. Yes, I really don't. My better half is a huge fan of Hogan's Heroes. We actually got series over here somewhere. She's like a huge fan of that. How MASH ended? It had a 2-hour season finale. It starts off with pretty much, and I'll just mention this part of it because this is powerful. Just so you know, Hawkeye is talking to a shrink because he's had a breakdown. The shrink that you see throughout most of the series, and basically what's happened, he's on a bus, and the bus is driving, and their enemy comes by. Enemy is like is close by, and he keeps talking early on about, hey, Cinema Dave, the fact that this girl like kind of like kills her chicken to stop the chicken from squawking, and like alerting the nearby enemy, and this really bothers him. This really gets to him, and it's something that is you go back throughout it, till he has a breakthrough, and he realizes that it seems like such a silly thing, but the reason that it's bothered him so much, the reason that this is haunting him, is because he's placed that placeholder in his mind. He's placed that chicken in his mind. She killed her baby, so that the baby's cries wouldn't alert the nearby enemy. And that's the real thing that he's been blocking out. And that's a very, very powerful moment on the series. And yeah, Murder She Wrote. I'm a huge fan. Murder She Wrote is my comfort show. I go to watch it like Murder She Wrote, and I got upstairs. Kind of show what's on the shelves. I can give you a quick overview of the shelves here again. When I do this, by the way, guys, if you see anything here, just let me know. You know, if there's anything you want to talk about, ask about, that type of thing, we'll do that. So you're not going to see me for all. And I do like, well, I love when anybody asks me this question because it gets me off camera. And I will actually give you kind of an overview of some stuff like Robotech. There's some Power Rangers there. I got to get 2 more sets of that. We got some Transformers, the Matlock, which I utterly love that show. Farscape is one of my better half's favorite shows. That is the original Land of the Lost. Yep, actually, that has the complete series, but I do have the specials and movies as well. We got Cracker there, Diagnosis Murder. You can see like Stargate in the background and some Hunter with the original seasons. We got the Avengers, the M Appeal. Yep, that's Land of the Lost up there. I'm actually a really big fan of that show. We got both series of Roger Moore's The Saint, the monochrome years and the color years. I have Secret Agent Man, and of course I have The Prisoner as well. I got the Gary Shandling show, and I actually do really like that. I actually got it for less than $20, brand new. I was at this video game store, and they sold a lot of their TV stuff for like super cheap. I do have some Barnaby Jones. I don't have it all, and I do have the first couple seasons of McCloud as well. There was a crossover between Murder She Wrote and Magnum PI, and there was a crossover between Matlock and a couple different shows actually. Matlock had a few different people on there, including Mannix. Yep, that is the original Series V. And Dune, of course, we got both Dunes, of course, Dune and, of course, Children of Dune. There's my Rick and Morty gun. And this is pretty much my Superman and some other superhero stuff. Powers, unfortunately, didn't last that long. I got to get the rest of Supernatural. I've only got the first 8 seasons. Perry Mason was one I really loved. Let's take a knee here so I can do this. I love Cracker. And Cracker there's an early Christopher Eccleston in that, isn't there? Tommy Westfall's Universe Theory. I don't think I do. Scrubs I actually found for really, really cheap. Captain Power is one that I looked for a long time and I finally got. Tales from the Dark Side. If you've never seen Tales from the Dark Side, please check that out. It's really good. I got all 3 Musketeers there. Welcome Back Kata, Square Pegs, Night Gallery. I've only got the first season of that. Down there you can see like I have some games and that's right, yeah. Some other shows there. I Dream of Jeannie, The Munsters, Peep Show, In-Betweeners. I got to go over to the other side here. So, whoa. It's my basketball because that's one thing I do is when I'm there's Early Edition, which is a show that should have lasted longer. There's a Murder She Wrote, like the movie collection. Yeah, I got over. Well, you'll see it in a second. Actually, I do have Red Dwarf as well. Max Headroom, Buck Rogers. There's Sanford and Son, Band of Brothers. There's the Persuaders. We got actually this like in a couple ways. I have some Family Ties. I don't have Tremors yet. I used to like that show though. A rare one that I got here, by the way, is this Canadian version of Dracula, which was more of like a kid show, kind of a kid's Dracula show, which is actually kind of fun. Flight the Conchords, Bored to Death, of course. Lone Gunman. Ghost Stories, Covert Affairs, Sherlock, Elf, the complete series. And for people that like Hill Street Blues, I got the first 2 seasons of Hill Street Blues. The Avengers from the 60s was right up here. Okay, let's go to the other side because there are two more shelves. Up here you can see My Married with Children, Lone Ranger, some Get Smart, Space 1999, one of my favorite sci-fi shows of all time, Stargate Atlantis. I do have some Have Gun Will Travel. Game of Thrones, Lost in Space, one of my favorite shows, Y50, Burn Notice, and of course right there is the show was just asked about was the Larry Sanders Show. Down here you're going to see stuff like Heroes, The Walking Tall, the short-lived TV series. You're going to see my Charmed collection there. That's okay. Beverly Hills 90210, which is being redone, and there's my Red Dwarf series. Kung Fu, and of course I have two of these Mystery Machines. Right here is my complete Magnum PI, Starsky and Hutch, A-Team. Then you see my complete 21 Jump Street, and also the spin-off show Booker PI, Miami Vice, Starman, and of course the other Twilight Zone. Oh, we are huge Scooby-Doo fans here. There's some Rawhide, some Gunsmoke, some Bonanza. One Shield is awesome. Rat Patrol, The Magnificent Seven, Young Riders, Shadow Wars, which is, I think that's Sonny Chiba actually. Sliders, which I really love. Cobra, which was actually a pretty cool show with Michael Dudikoff. I'm a huge Michael Dudikoff fan. Republic of Doyle was a detective series set in Newfoundland, basically in St. John's. That's Doyle right there. And if you've ever watched the show Rockford Files, Republic of Doyle is a lot like Rockford Files. This is my Canadian shelf here. There's Cobra with Michael Dudikoff. It was based on basically this Cobra car that he had. Due South, Beastmaster, Poltergeist, Legacy, first season. I got both seasons of FX, the series. That was a show that took a really big chance in the second season. True Detective, Warehouse 13, Sci Factor. If you're a Canadian TV person, Mr. Dressup would mean something to you. The Degrassi series, I have the complete Kids Junior High and Degrassi High. That's the original show. Mysterious Island, Temps Mort was a show done in Montreal. Orphan Black, I think I need one season of that left. I got the first 5 seasons of Hercules. I got like season of Xena. Well, 2 seasons, but we got like Macmillan the Wife here. Haven was a series actually. It was based on a Stephen King short story. It lasted a few years. Even had the guy that played Edge, Adam Copeland from wrestling on there. Young Indiana Jones. Colorado. Thank you, Livens. Young Indiana Jones is a really good one because it's got all these like special like bonus like things about like different historical events. And we see some different stuff down here with some of my French. I got my French put all over the place here. Traders, which was another Canadian show. Thunderbirds, Ironside, Once Upon a Time, Hey Arnold. I got some different stuff down here. Crime Story. I still want the not Crime Story. Remember Wise Guy? I'm missing one season of Sons of Anarchy too. That's True Calling, which is a really underrated show. Files War. Mrs. Brown's Boys was one of my Better House favorites, as was Keeping Up Appearances. We bought that in London. And over here, we got things like The L Word, which is a show that I used to really like. The Complete Columbo. There is Mission Impossible, the complete series. Some Star Trek, some of the kind of the unique sets that they got. And over here, for people that weren't here before, there are some Funkos. There are a lot of VHS. That's a Friday the 13th Jason figure. A lot of VHS, including the Sackets, which was actually a really good like TV Western series with Tom Selleck, well, kind of miniseries. There's you can see I got the X-Files there. Three's Company's in there. Bewitched. There's some of my masks, including the Scream, well, Ghostface. There's the Orphan Killer, my Lucha Libre masks. The Indiana Jones ones? Sure. Just let me bring this over here for a second. All right. So the way they did them were in three different volumes. This is the Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. Best Buy, when it first came to St. John's, this was the very first thing I bought there, were these Indiana Jones sets. What's really neat about these is when you open these things up and you look at the inside, they're massive. They'll always have like special features on with the special features. They'll have like things like ancient questions, and they're like things on like the like like Sigmund Freud and like Tutankhamun, just a bunch of different stuff on here. But they were really well done. They went between the kid ones and the Spielberg and Lucas were probably pretty involved with this because it did use a lot. They did like focus a lot on the historical aspect of it, and it has like a lot of like really cool episodes. So remember the episode where I think it was the last one, where basically Harrison Ford is in it and he plays like an old Indiana Jones, and he does it in like kind of a he kind of does sort of a kind of at the beginning, the kind of bookends, right? The beginning of it and at the end of it, which was actually pretty cool. I'm missing some of the stuff here. Sons of Anarchy. I like Sons of Anarchy. I haven't seen the sequel show to Sons of Anarchy, the new one that's out, but I do want to see that. Cool. Napoleon Solo. He was a cool dude. I have that series here somewhere. I'm sure I must have shown that here. Oh, so in the movie room actually. But I do like yeah, I like way too much stuff. Thanks. I do try to get things together. I got like a bunch of Random Halves here. I have the on VHS, and I got the whole complete Random Half series, I think, on Blu-ray. Oh, by the way, I got to say this right now because I know I'm going to forget it. Amazon Prime Day is the 15th and 16th. So if you're on Amazon, there's usually some pretty cool deals. I love the Sliders season 1 and season 2 set because it's done like parallel universes. So think of like Earth and like slotting to the different Earths. That's how I always saw the set. Oh, not a problem. Great show. I mean, like almost nobody. To be fair, the Critter show was only like a web series. There's a real like actual Critters movie coming out. There's so much. I mean, like when you think about like this is literally a room of TV shows. Like it got to that point where I just thought when I started like down here and I started bringing things here. Oh, enjoy your lunch, man. And thanks for coming in, by the way. Yeah, the latest Critters was on Shudder. It was done in like different parts, like 6 minutes and 7 minutes and that type of thing. Has there been a Critters movie? There's a Critters movie coming out. I haven't seen that. Has that even happened yet? Yeah, that's the thing. I've been trying to slow down so I can watch stuff. Because you get to that point where you're like, oh, I haven't seen it. But you get to that point where basically you're amassing so much, and you're trying to watch things, and then something else comes in. Yeah, I saw the first Escape Plan. I haven't seen the second one, and I know there's a third one coming out now. My better half's seen the first two. She's seen both the first one and the second one, but I've only seen the first one. But yeah, you get so far behind, and then you try to catch up. Because it's so you got to take a time when you're just going to be like, okay, I'm going to take. I think that everybody needs to get to the point where they, whether if it's like a couple weeks or a month or something like that, they basically say, I'm going to take a month or two. I'm just going to watch stuff. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to try and keep myself out of there. The sale's going to take like 2 weeks or a month, and I'm just going to start watching some of the stuff I got, and like as I get caught up. definitely, then you're like, okay, now I can start buying again. I've watched a lot of my stuff. I can start buying, and you can actually, then you can legitimize the stuff that you're gonna buy. But I'm getting tired, and it has been a long freaking day. I had to get some stuff done online today. Got all that done. Had to do like some cleanup. Had to do some laundry, which is actually brought me down here. Sasha's gonna have a new video tomorrow, so we'll definitely check that out. Make sure you check out the channel. You've worn me out, but in a good way. The Blu-ray box set that came up from Scream Factory. Awesome, man, awesome. I actually have. I have thought about doing a Discord server. I actually haven't like taken the time to do that yet. I'm kind of lazy on that. But one of these days, I will get like get a Discord server or something going so that people can like chat on there. But part of me wonders if I do a Discord server, will you guys still come in? Will you still like join like in the site one? Recently, yeah, Walmart recently had put a lot of like TV boxes. That's another reason I wanted to come in here. I totally forgot that actually. Walmart recently has put a lot of TV complete series out on here for really, really great prices. Like complete shows for like $30, $40, that type of thing. And what was my opinion on the last ever episode of Game of Thrones? I liked it. I really did. I didn't get. Some people got really upset about certain things, and spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen Game of Thrones. But one thing that I have to say, and I'm going to be honest, like completely honest on this one. If you did not see a certain female character going.
Sorry.
See, if I say the S word, going completely evil and insane near the end of the series, we were watching two different shows because they set that up. They set that up really, really well. And I think the big setup for that is during the season that was shot in Morocco, actually. Basically, when she's trying to like be the savior for this place. She's freeing the slaves, whether they want it or not. And you start to see like her character become darker and darker to the point where you should know where this is going to lead. Thanks for coming in, Mug, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. But that's my opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion on that. That's like, I like The Last Jedi. Not a lot of people like The Last Jedi. I got my own weird taste. Yeah, it was completely foreshadowed, and people are like, I can't believe they did this to that character. I named my kid after that character. You probably should have thought ahead on that one. But it's still a nice name, so congratulations. But yeah, it was a fun show. I really liked it, and actually, I got to say this before I go. I'm finishing off right now. I just watched Gossip, which everybody on Film Twitter has been watching recently, which stars Lena Headey from Game of Thrones. If you haven't watched Gossip in the last little while, it's a bloody brilliant film, some great acting in it. Check it out. That's my homework assignment for you guys. Check out the movie Gossip, because last time I was in here, I said, watch Malatesta's Carnival of Blood. Hopefully some of you guys did that. Can I do a Stranger Things and Critter live stream? Actually, I can. Let me finish Stranger Things first, and then we'll talk about it, because a lot of people are talking about Stranger Things, and we'll do it so that's not. So we'll add it on to something else, because I don't want to get clickbaity and be like, oh, this is Stranger Things. We'll talk about a lot of stuff, but we'll talk about the recent season of Stranger Things. I'm at episode 5 right now, so I'll be finished it fairly soon, I think. And it's already been announced that there's going to be a 4th season, so we'll. Good news. I am Aaron. You guys are the movie club. Thank you so much for joining me today in our little secret room here, which should be which was a lot of fun, and a lot more people came in than I expected. And thank you for being so interactive and so talkative. I was really nervous about making the video here because the last couple videos got kind of quiet in certain aspects. Toodle pip. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I am Aaron. You guys are the movie club. You guys are awesome. And hopefully we'll do another video in the near future. In this room, you're Batman. Buy Critters Attack. Do I really need to buy Critters Attack? We'll see. I'll talk to you later.